What's going on, y'all? We are here. We back for episode 2 of the Club WAM Podcast. I'm the host, the commentator Elijah, aka Hodge. These are my hosts, Brandon. Say what up, Brandon.
What up? What up? What down?
And Ant. What up, Ant?
What's up, people?
Yeah, man. So a lot happened, right? I'm just gonna say I was right. Let's start off with that. I'm gonna just start there. I was right. The Celtics obviously won game one. So if y'all go back and look at episode one, y'all see that we made a friendly bet we did on a per game basis. Winner, whoever gets this right, they take a shot. I'm standing on business. I'm gonna double down. If they pick the same thing and I get it wrong, I'll take two. Anyway, y'all go ahead, do y'all thing.
I mean, I think we should preface it first by saying we're recording this before game two. So we don't know what's gonna happen in game two, so we're only doing one shot because of game one. So
Correct.
I got a nice ice cold thing of Jim Beam, some pickle juice, and a young shot right here.
I got the pickle moonshine shot.
So let's go. Let's
Real
go.
quick.
Let's run it. Let's run it.
Whew. All right.
What
Yeah.
stopped me from the
Yeah.
second one?
It's like strong
Yeah.
pickle juice.
Yeah. All right. I'm glad we knocked the dust off. So hopefully this episode will be free flowing. It's gonna be explosive. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, let's talk about game one in the NBA finals. What happened for the Celtics? Y'all go ahead.
I mean, from what it looked like just from watching it, they went in with a clear strategy of not doubling Luca and then doubling Kyrie. So they're like trying to make him do the opposite of what they like naturally want to do, which like Luca is pass and then Kyrie, which is score. And I kind of threw them off their game plan. Like like the Celtics, like they show they can like switch pretty much any action without needing to send help most of the time, and that completely stagnated the Mavs offense and forced them to play one on one. And then Luca, like and Kyrie together, they average like 1 point per game in a regular season, like just isoing, and that's like the worst offense in a league. So, they're playing four, and then they got four of the best perimeter defenders. Trying to get them to do that is, it kind of made sense for them to stagnate them that much. I definitely think um, I mean, it's like I said before, the Celtics look really good up 15. So once they got up 15, that was it. So
Man, look, I ain't even worried. I feel like a big part of the Celtics winning that was them feeding off their crowd as they should have. Because like that, bro, they was up like what? They scored like 40 in the first quarter. 37 in the first quarter. Like,
Mhm.
and that crowd, having that crowd behind you, they was able to use that energy to make it happen. But I don't know. I'm not really worried. 'Cause for what I've seen, both sides are pretty much they running their offenses like they normally do. It's like the Dallas, they wasn't hitting the shots they normally hit and missed a whole lot of threes. I think they like it was bad. From 7 for 27. Like, oh Jesus, that's bad. But it's terrible. 3-1, like, so I mean, it's just like you gotta make your shots. But it's this next game, I feel like it's gonna come down to can the younger players adjust? Because like we know Kyrie's been here before. Luca's kind of been in he's been in these types of environments. He hasn't necessarily been here before in the NBA, but he's been there before in Euro League. He's been in that like those final situations, championship situations. So I feel like it's just gonna come down to like Derek Lively, Jaden Hardy, what's his name? Josh Green, I believe, or the other Green. It's like it's gonna come down to can those guys are they gonna be able to adjust to this crowd? Because Boston's not gonna get quieter this next game.
Do you
yeah,
think it's gonna be worse because Kyrie said, "I thought they'd be louder"? Do you think it's gonna be worse? You think they're gonna turn it up a
Nah,
notch?
because of the way the second half went, I feel like this game is gonna be a lot closer. I feel
Mm,
like this is gonna be one of those games that is low key gonna be a very determining game in the series because I feel like coming out in that second half, you could see the defensive adjustments where Lively was sticking to KP more, so he couldn't really get the easy shots because everybody else on the floor he's shooting over. It was like, and Luka was able to get it going. Kyrie wasn't really able to get it going. He got to figure that out. He got to figure out how he can get it going. But like as far as like defensively, it's I see the adjustments made, and I see where that could help them win the game. So I feel like this next game is going to be. I still got the Mavericks winning the second game.
Yeah, I think the Mavs should try to. So instead of like having Kyrie or Luka bring the ball up, I think maybe they should like catch a screen and then get it. That way they already got their defender moving. Which maybe will force a switch. Like trying to like force a switch on Luka's man, I think would open up the passing more for him. Same with Kyrie. I mean, you got to put Kyrie in a position where he can just kind of go downhill. I think like the last pod you said that they're going to be really good at getting Kyrie to not shoot threes, and I think that's for sure the thing. But Kyrie has to be like perfect from the mid range.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like same thing goes for Luka. Obviously, there was just so many times because they put Al Horford. They didn't care about having Al Horford on him because they just didn't double off of him. But then like he would get Al Horford in jail or something like that, and then there's no lob to Lively or Gafford right there. There's no corner pass there anymore because like Drew Holiday was stunned down for a half second and then swoop right back, not really giving Luka enough time to really do anything other than take a shot, whether it's forced or not. So it was like it was just I think the Celtics definitely blitzed them game one. I agree with it. I think game two, they should be better off, but I think it kind of depends on if Luka's playing. I read not even that long ago, I think somewhere around like noon today, that Luka's has a sprained ankle and a sprained knee, so he might not even play game two. So we'll see. Hey, with no Luka, I don't know what's going to happen. But the Celtics do play down to their competition, so I would fully expect for them to play worse if Luka doesn't play, like the Celtics, not even the Mavs. So we'll see.
So, Brandon, let me ask you. Well, I got two questions. One specifically for Brandon. The second one will be for you, both of y'all. Brandon, how's it feel to be right about
You know,
Porzingis?
I mean, it ain't nothing to say. I mean, it's been the case all season. He's a superpower for them. You can't. They're really they're practically unguardable when he's out there. They just have to miss.
Right. But yeah, man, I was watching the game and that was like one of the first notes. As soon as Porzingis walked, I'm like, wait, this makes the Celtics really unguardable. Which is when I thought about it, kind of why I picked the Celtics in 7, because the style of offense, right, that they run, it makes it really hard for not only just the Mavs, but any team to guard them. Like, who do you help off of? If they run Drew, if they run Drew, Derek White, Jason Tatum, Jalen Brown, Porzingis, who do you help off of, right? Or even like if you swap
There's
that
too
for
many mismatches.
damn near anybody on their team, like who do you help off of?
It's
And
too
I
many
think
mismatches.
that's one of the things, right? For the Mavs versus the Celtics, there's players that you can definitely help off of on the Mavs. And not what I let me put it this way, right? One of Luca's superpowers, I feel like, is his ability to create the double team, right? So in him creating the double team, it seems like for whatever reason, the Celtics are, they're not helping. They're like, nah, we're not doubling. Like if we do double, we're gonna double with Drew Holiday so he can play like free safety so he can hurry up and get back. They're doing all types of things to stop Luca from being able to pass the ball, which like crazy enough, that's his superpower. The scoring is crazy, but like him being a gifted like next level passer, that's his thing. You know what I mean? So I say all that to say, for question for both of y'all, do y'all really think that the Mavs can guard the Celtics? If the Celtics play how they played in game one, do you think like what's the adjustment?
I don't think that I think they guarded the Celtics fine. I just think they weren't making their shots to keep up with them. Like I said, whenever There'd be time they take Porzingis off the floor. They got done within 8, and then he came back in and hit 2 straight threes. Like
Yeah.
that. I think they guarded them fine. I genuinely think so. I mean, Tatum shot like shit. Was Brown he played all right. I mean, he was making his shots, but I don't think anyone on the Celtics scored more than like 17 points. I think that's a pretty good game.
Yeah. Okay, KP had 20. I think.
Yeah, and Jaylen Brown had 22.
Yeah.
But
Even
like,
still,
it
it's like
wasn't
they had 5 people in double digits for the whole team.
Yeah.
And they bench gave them way more than Dallas's bench. That's another big thing that Dallas gonna have to. They have to get everybody gonna have to play harder. They gotta produce more.
I just don't think they should let the Celtics get it. Like, they should not let the Celtics get away with having Peyton Pritchard or Luke or Sam Hauser on the floor. Like I just like when those two are on the floor, they gotta find a way to get them into some actions. And it doesn't seem like they were because I mean they had Al Horford out there, which seems like the matchup you should try to attack because he's old. But I think Pritchard's 5'11. You know what I mean? Like, what are we supposed to do here? Like he's that's exactly who they should be putting in every action, no matter who it is.
Yeah. I mean, that's all good. Like, what's so the adjustment is attacking the Celtics, the couple weak defenders that they have. Um, Let me ask another question. What's the adjustment for the Celtics to win game 2? Because the finals is all about adjustments. Should the Celtics just do the same thing they did in game 1? Or should they are there some obvious adjustments? For me, I'm like, hey, stop shooting all them damn threes. But that's what they do. Nobody can stop them from doing that. What's the adjustment?
I mean, I just think I think they played a pretty flawless game defensively game 1. I'm not sure what they should make going into game 2. I think that depends on what the Mavs are doing because like like I just like when you if you could hold Luka to 1 assist, like you did your job.
Yeah, for
Um
sure.
like I think the Mavs need to play more of their people, like more of the people who can catch the ball and do something with it instead of like some catch and shoot specialists. Like I think this is a Tim Hardaway Jr. series for sure. If they can get Jaden Hardy out there, just in some quick, like some maybe 10, 15 minutes just to get them a quick spark
When
off the
Peyton
bench.
Pritchard's on the floor.
Yeah, exactly. Like if the Celtics don't stagger their lineup the way that I'm assuming they will, um I mean, if they do stagnate their lineups the way that I expected that they will, I think as soon as Porzingis is off the floor and how Horford's out there with Pritchard or something like that, they just got to instantly turn that into some type of pick and roll. Um, I mean, they got that. They run that 2-3, and they've been running that 2-3 all playoffs. Honestly, just get Luka right there in the nail, have him catch it, and then make them work off that.
And do you
Yeah,
think
I
the
think.
Celtics? Oh, sorry.
Oh, you good? My bad, man.
You good?
I think the Celtics is kind of like you said, like it's kind of more of the same. It's kind of like going into this next game. Keep going off the fans' energy. Keep going off what's working. Keep going off who's scoring. And it's just like that. That first game, Jason Tatum didn't do like spectacular, but I feel like it was more like taking like a back seat to the way Jaylen Brown and KP and everybody else was able to produce that game. Because it's like,
Mm-hmm.
there are going to be games where you need Jason Tatum. This is one of those games where it was like, all right, we kind of got this one. So I feel like, for the Celtics, definitely just more of the same. But Dallas, the adjustment that's going to have to be made there is just kind of like it's kind of a heart check. It's kind of just going to be like, can y'all handle it in this environment? Because you're gonna have to win one of these games there. Like you're not gonna be able to walk out of this a champion without winning a game in
Yeah,
Boston. So you got to figure it out one way or another.
yeah. Stealing game 2 would be huge for them.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
And I mean, I'm going to keep going back to that getting a screen for Luka or Kyrie before they actually start their action. They run a set called Ram 77, which is just it's a screen leading into a double drag screen, like an exit screen for on the backside. That's just getting people moving. I just don't think they're gonna do. I don't want to see them ISO 15 times a game next game. I just don't think they need to be doing that. I think they need to get into some of their sets.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they definitely need to get some motion going on the floor, especially with that many good defenders. That's not really the team you want to catch the ball with that guy in front of you.
Exactly. Like they like any four of the perimeter defenders in their starting lineup are very well equipped to handle an ISO. Maybe not over and over again, but definitely like one off or like even like late game. Uh, Everyone's tired, people breathing hard. Like Luca's, he's he's limping up the floor and stuff like that, and he gets that look. Like I think, like I when I saw him start smirking and stuff like that, I thought he got really comfortable because I don't think Luca had any problem scoring. That wasn't even an issue. I think he had
Yeah,
like 30. It was just like he's the engine. He's so like if he has 30 with no assists, that's like a bad game for him, which is like crazy to say, but it is.
yeah, no, yeah, that's definitely is.
yeah. It just sorry. It just goes back to that point that I was making. Like yes, Luca can score. He is elite, dynamic when it comes to scoring. But like him being able to like make the pass, make the extra pass, make people um pretty much help, and he can hold the ball until the absolute last second and always make the right pass perfectly to get a better shot. That's his superpower. Like him, Jokic, LeBron, um, like man, like
Halliburton.
yeah, Halliburton, those types of players, right? Making that extra pass, that's what sets them apart and has the impact on the game. Where if he had 30 and 10 assists, that's a completely different game.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the Mavs are in it, or they either win it or they keep it a lot closer if he has the assists too.
But they didn't, and I was right. No, moving
Hey,
on.
no,
So
you be taking two cracking shots next week. Watch
I'm not. I'm telling you, I'm not. I'm gonna be good. I'm
two
telling you.
nice deep dark glasses
You
of
might be
crack
taking more than
for
two,
you.
depending when that game three is.
Exactly. Be
I'm
ready to
telling
take.
you. I'm telling you. All right, look. So let's go to game two predictions. Who y'all think is gonna win? Clearly that's gonna be a short answer, but let's make it interesting. What's the score looking like? You go close game, blowout. You don't gotta give me like an exact number unless you really feeling like that. But
I got
Uh,
I got Dallas, and I got them winning it probably like 115 to like 100, 105, something like that. I got them winning by at least 10. I think that everybody will adjust. I think a lot more shots are gonna fall for them this game.
Yeah, that long rest absolutely hurt the Mavs. Like they look in a way, they look like they lost like some of that heat that they had coming off that Timberwolves series. Like they gave them like a 6 day rest. Like I just think they lost a little bit of their
Yeah,
mojo. And this kind of happens every year in the finals where teams get like they have like a long waiting period depending on how quickly they dispatch like whoever they're playing in a conference finals. So like I just think that it's going to be a different game because they're more in it right now. You know what I mean? I saw the Mavs like their training and like their practices in their gym. They have a chain. They have chain nets, and they were playing. They were playing Kendrick Lamar diss tracks. I'm like, okay, all right, they're in a different mode right now. They're ready for it.
chain
And
nets
then,
is nasty.
yeah, and I mean for score, I think it's going to be a low scoring game. I think like it may be a 97 to 103 win or something like that. I think and I think their scoring is going to be like less and less as the series goes on. And it's just going to be more of a defensive game. I think both these teams are both defensive teams. They just happen to have like high level shot creators. But I with no doubt I don't think these teams are that far apart in terms of like just being able to win a game. They have like the Mavs have two of the all-time like just shot makers, and then the Celtics have like just an onslaught of defense, rebounding, and shooting. Like they can just again just spam threes and hope to win the math game, which is what they've been winning with all year. And I'm not calling a sweep because I just can't do that. Can't bet on a sweep. I don't want that. I want a long 7 game series.
well, both of these teams are like you said, because they defensive teams. Both of these teams are used to getting a lot more shots too, because of the stops that they're able to create. So yeah, that's another thing that's making this series look different. Is like the difference in the amount of possessions for both teams because they both know like you got to make every one count.
Yeah. Yeah, they're in the rebounding too. Like I just think the Mavs can definitely get some boards. It just didn't seem like they were too strong on it. And I'm like, I think I think they're the better rebounding team. I know like Tatum and I know Tatum and I know Horford are good rebounders for the most part. It depends on where they're standing. Like if you got Kristaps out on the perimeter and like they got Horford spotting up on the perimeter, they got to take advantage of that size on the wings. It's just being like because I think they're more athletic on the wings. I think Derrick Jones Jr. is like the best athlete on the floor. And I think he could definitely do more on the rebounding end instead of like maybe leaking out. Just go for it. Honestly, try to get the offensive rebound. Try to get as many second possessions as they can, just to make up for that for the disparity of talent. Like I think that like the top four for the Mavs and the top four for the Celtics are completely different in terms of like overall talent. But I think just the way that they work together kind of bridges that gap. Um, like we'll see. I mean, I think they're trying to also get in their heads because I saw Jason Kidd say that Jaylen Brown's
Yeah,
their best player. And I think like they're hoping that Tatum takes that as like, okay, I gotta take 30 shots next game um to prove my Kobe comparisons. So he's big on that.
Well, I mean, uh, good luck. Y'all already know who I got. I got the Celtics, so ship it and lock it. You know what I'm saying? I got the Celtics. I got the Celtics. I got the Celtics winning game 2. I
Mhm.
just, I don't know, man. I am just hoping they don't let me down. I gotta stay with my Celtics in 7. But to do that, I definitely need them to win tonight. So
Your Celtics. Okay, okay. New
not
fandom.
my
Okay,
no, no, no,
okay.
no, no. Hold on. Not my Celtics because I had to pick them because y'all got the match. So I had to. So
right.
they mine for now. Pause.
Like,
That's
I
crazy. Let's
if
regroup.
they're up 15, if they're up 15, they may win the game. I'll give them that.
I'm hoping
Right.
they stay up 15. Um. Also, because the way that we record these podcasts, reality is games 3 and game 4, 2. Well, actually, so games 2 is tonight. Game 3 and game 4 will also be within the upcoming week. So by the time potentially, I'm not hoping this, but potentially we come back and the series is over, right? I'm not hoping that at all. But
And
I'm
come
saying
back,
like
you have 6 shots of Kraken
Man,
lined up.
right.
the series could be over. So we do have to talk about that. Um, who do y'all got winning game 3 and game 4? So what does the series look like for y'all when we come back on the pod on Sunday? So what do you think it'd be? Will we done? Series over? 2-2, 3-1, either way. Like what y'all thinking?
I think the Celtics will go up 3-1. I don't think that's the series though. I think they could that's a very realistic to think. I mean, if Luka's not playing, I just don't see it. I don't
Right,
see how
right. Of course.
the Mavs get a single game. But I mean, if they're rocking and they can get their mojo back, I can see this easily being either 3-1 or 2-2. I mean, they're gonna have to win one in they have to win one in Dallas too. And I don't think that the Mavs are gonna drop both games at home. I just I don't see that ever happening.
Yeah, for sure. I got it 2-2 as well when we come back. I feel like when we come back it'll be 2-2. And I think they're both gonna split. I think Dallas wins tonight. I think Dallas wins game 3, but I think they lose game 4. And I feel like they're gonna be going back to Boston, even though it's 2-2. I feel like they're gonna be going back to Boston on loss for game 5. That's how I feel like it's gonna work out.
Yeah, and of course, this caveat is based on the fact that both teams are healthy. Like, if Luca's
Yeah,
not
right.
there, like we not all bets are off, right? And even the friendly bet, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't even feel good. I wouldn't even feel good making y'all take those shots if Luca don't
Yeah,
play.
I'm still taking my drink. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
All
still
right,
taking my drink.
stay
Like,
on
look,
business. Stay on
we
business.
we didn't know what was gonna happen. It happened. I'm still taking my drink.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
we can't change everything just because someone gets hurt. So we still made that bet.
Yeah.
Money don't go
Yeah.
away. So
Yeah. All right. All right. Y'all, some men of class. Clearly, some men of
hey,
class.
FanDuel will take my money back. You shouldn't either.
Nah, I gotta go in 2-2 going into game 5. So I don't have a sweep by any means. Um, Although the Celtics look incredible game 1, like they look like world beaters game 1, but you know, I still don't got a 2-2. I mean, I still don't got a sweep. I got it going 2-2 because you know, I just don't think at this point in NBA finals, at some point these teams have to be some type of easily evenly matched. And although the Celtics had an easy road and they've been the best team all year, um, the Mavs had to play some of the best teams in the league, period, to get to where they are. So that should matter for something, 100%. So hopefully the moxie, the resiliency, everything that we talked about the Mavs pretty much this whole playoffs. Hopefully they show up and show out. So granted, given that Luca plays, so but that's
Yeah.
that. Um, I had a topic here as we transition to the next point. This is something more so that like Brandon, you wanted to talk about. The media coverage surrounding the NBA finals. Um, go, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think this year is a lot better than it's been previously. Like, I genuinely don't really like the way that the media covers the NBA, just because I feel like it's all kind of narrative driven and like analytics based, and like it feels like a lot of like the analysts don't actually watch games. And I mean, I understand they're busy people, but if you're speaking on this and like you're putting like what you say is what the general public is going to believe or understand out of like a player or out of a team or everything like that, they have to be more like they have to do more of their due diligence on it. Like I think like in specific, like I mean, I could go back to that Nugget series, like at the beginning of the playoffs where they played the Lakers and how they talked more about the Lakers and what they were doing and how they could come back versus like what the Nuggets are even doing to succeed. I mean, in these finals, I definitely think that before game 1, they were pushing Luca up as this like they're like, oh yeah, he's arrived, he's the face of the league, he's gonna come through and he's gonna do his thing. And I think that is true to an extent, but like I mean the Celtics have won like 76 games this year, and a lot of that is because they're that good. And I just don't think that people have been watching them, and I don't think they've been covered because their route to the finals has been pretty easy. And even during the regular season, it was kind of hard to cover them because they were winning by a lot in most games. The only time you ever really got to talk about them was when they would get like a really bad loss, which that is what you should be talking about. But like it was clear that they were the best team in the East all year, um, and I don't think they're really getting the respect they deserve in that. And I think maybe after they go up a couple games, there'll be a little bit more around that. I'm just a little afraid that they're going to start pushing the Tatum is the next Kobe narrative when I just don't think he's that. I think they're gonna they're always trying to appoint the next face of the league, the next guy. They're always, yeah, I just think it takes away from like the game. Like let's talk about what they did to win. Let's talk about some of the actions they did in order to force the Mavs out of their play style. What they did to stop Luka from having those assists versus no, they just wanted it more. That's not a good explanation to me. No.
Go ahead. Ain't you got anything to add? Anything to
No, no. I would say I definitely agree. Like, as far as like how the media coverage goes, it's like it's not. It's definitely like you said, narrative driven and not as informative as it used to be, or as you would want it to be. Because I feel like there was a time where it was like a lot more informative, where look, Kenny would go to the wall and there was X and O's talk happening. Like, this is what these guys are doing. This is why this team is up by this much. This is what's been successful thus far this game. I feel like that definitely doesn't happen. And also, even to his example in the playoffs, it's like nobody's speaking on what's been successful for teams. Like, even like with the like I said, with the Celtics having the road they had, like they didn't really talk about how anybody was having success, like any of the teams they beat, like how the Knicks were having success, like what was going on that was able to keep them on the floor because they have Josh Hart playing the four essentially. And like there's no like nobody's explaining why that's working, like what they're doing on the floor, how they're keeping motion going, where they're putting guys. it's like it's so much more that could be talked about. It's so much more that could be gone into that actual fans of the game would really appreciate. Would shit everybody would watch it, and it's just like I don't know. It's just kind of weird. It's just like why not be that informative about what's
Yeah.
going on?
I mean, you said they're talking about the next Lakers head coach more than I think they're talking about what happened in game one.
Yeah, it's like man,
Yeah, that was gonna be like my sub question. Do you think that the league focuses on more topics other than the NBA finals? Like, um, we're like I've seen the day of the NBA finals, I've seen um talk about the NBA finals, but literally the day after that, it's been all Lakers talk all week, right?
Mhm.
yeah,
They're talking about who's gonna be next coach. Is it gonna be JJ Redick? Is it gonna be um the old UConn coach? I can't.
Hurley,
Dan Hurley.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
which I mean, shout out to him, but like, is this the time for that? I
Mhm.
understand, right? Do we
correct.
we get it, right? The Lakers, LeBron, all that stuff. That's what the media that gets the most clicks, it gets the most views, it gets the most attention. I mean, but the only way for the league to change that is for what? Talk about something else.
Yeah, and like I just think they're afraid. They're afraid to talk about other stuff, and that's what I'm seeing is that they're too afraid that like people are gonna want to watch if they talk about the Hornets or they talk about the Wizards or they talk about the Sixers or they talk all these other teams that are all just as interesting. I think as the Lakers, they don't talk about them. And
Yeah,
that's always bugged me. That's been a problem with the way it's been covered for practically the entirety of my NBA fandom. They talked about like the Lakers more than anyone else. And I know that they're the biggest team and they're like the largest market and all that stuff. But me personally, I don't care. I want to know more about I want to know about what's happening around the league. Tell me what's happening up in Portland. Why were they so bad this year? Why tell me what's happening in Golden State? What's happening over in Dallas? I didn't know I didn't know the Mavs are going to be this good up until up until they were good. We didn't know what was going on with them. No, they didn't talk about them. And I think like when you have a top four player on these teams, you got to talk about them. You like the think about the OKC and their coverage. They don't
Mm,
get coverage, and that they were the first seed. Like
right. We've seen that commercial more than we've heard them talk about them.
exactly, exactly.
so that's all media. Are we talking? So, and that was my other question, right? Are we talking all media? Are we talking air quote new media, which would technically be us
Mhm.
on YouTube or whatever, talking, giving our opinion about it? Because I feel like just listening to y'all talk, y'all watch the game more than the people on ESPN do. But that's shout out to
right.
Yeah, I don't think they have
all
the time to watch.
how
Yeah.
NBA
I,
finals ain't no other basketball on.
yeah, I was just like, right now they do. In playoffs and finals, yeah, I get it. Regular season to a degree because sports overlap, a lot of stuff going on. But even then, it's just like, is it really that difficult to talk about like all the games that happened? Like, this is what happened in this game. This is why they won. Like, I feel like if that's what they're supposed to be doing anyway, like why does it seem like it's an issue to do that?
Like instead of talking about that, they're talking about who's the best player on this team. Has Jalen Brown overtaken Tatum as the best player on the team?
Right.
That doesn't matter. It just does not matter. Let's talk about it after the series is over. It's been one game.
And
Like,
both of them have already came out and said they don't care anyway. They, look, whatever wins. It's like, hey, man,
yeah.
if Peyton Pritchard got to get 50, Peyton Pritchard the one get 50. We don't care. We trying to win.
They're completely missing out on a lot of really smart coverage. On which I mean, there's analysts like I thought JJ was really trying to push that when he first started doing the analyst stuff, but I think he's been worn down over just the course of doing it to talk about it less and less. And that's why I think he probably came out with that podcast with LeBron is just to talk more of the X's and O's, other than having a job interview. So it's like I want more smart coverages, and I think the new media will push that stuff. I think the analytics boom over the last like 5 years is definitely winding down. I think more people are realizing that like averages don't really mean much. Like they'll look at, oh, okay, LaMelo Ball will be averaging like 25, 8 and 8, right? But they're like 3 and 13. and they'll be like, "Oh, he's killing it though." Yeah, but they're losing every game.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's talk about it. Like, what's happening? What's happening here? So, like, that stuff matters. Like, okay, if a team's like losing like that, why is that happening? Who there's 13 other players on that team that get regular minutes. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, sure, the general public aren't going to want to hear any of that stuff. But we also don't know because they don't talk about it. We don't know what they assume people are dumb, and don't care about like the game and forwarding their knowledge of it. When I think if we were to teach people how to understand the game of basketball more than what's happening on the ball, I think that's what it takes to take the NBA media coverage and just the understanding of the game to the next level.
Yeah.
Do you think both of y'all think we went kind of back to the era of barbershop talk, I guess? Where
A lot of
we
opinion
watch the
based
game.
stuff.
Yeah, where we watch the game like before or let me say in the last couple years, right? There's this high analytics trend where it's all about the plus minus or this is the percentage rates and all that stuff, right? But I think with the YouTube era and the podcast and the new media and all these things going on, giving us the opportunity to do the shit that we're doing right now, right? Um, I think that it matters. Like we're rolling the ball out and we're just like, all right, let's just see what's happening. Like we're watching, and we're like, this is what we see. We like instead of looking at some analytics, it doesn't take like I don't need any deep analytics to look at. Damn, the Celtics shoot a lot of threes. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Right.
I don't need that. I don't need that. Um,
Celtics shoot this percentage from three after the opponent misses twice. Like, who cares? That doesn't matter.
Man.
Like,
send us send
That
us
should
the
have had its
money.
own box up here. Hey,
Look, make it right, and look, just make it right. That's all I'm saying.
hey, give me one of those NBA Finals Hennessy packs. That's what.
I know. Yep. Hennessy, make it right. Look,
You know,
Patron, make it right. Like
man,
they already sponsored Black History Month. They can sponsor this one.
Kraken, make it right. Like, do I gotta keep
man.
going? Like, y'all just gotta make it right, man. Come on. But yeah, um, welcome back. We had some technical difficulties that we just had to iron it out. We had, we good. We back, man. It was actually a perfect point to transition into. So going from the NBA to the WNBA into our last segment. Let's talk about Caitlin Clark. She's viral. The WNBA is viral right now. Just talking about it. Um, let's start with Ant on this one. Is Caitlin Clark getting bullied, or is this just her welcome to the league moment, like anybody else?
Nah, I mean, this is how we've always seen good players get treated. Like you will be tested because everybody knows that you have the potential to be good. And it's kind of like I'm kind of glad she finally was able to come out and kind of speak on it a little bit. I was like, I didn't really like get to see the interview, but I did like notice a couple things that was like quoted from her about basically just people are paying so much attention to all of this drama and trying to create more drama, trying to create narratives like we talked about before, trying to create more narratives that nobody's paying attention to the fact that she is learning and she is starting to find her shots more. And she's not the only one doing that. There are a bunch of women and they are killing. I was like, I don't know if the Suns are still undefeated, but they were undefeated for a very long time. Asia Wilson is going for a three-peat, and from the looks of things, she might actually be able to do it. And it's just kind of like it's a lot of other things going on that you could be bringing attention to and showing fans of basketball, just like, hey, these are other players that are really good. These are other players that are really talented. Like, check out what's going on. And it's just like I don't understand the reasoning behind trying to create all this drama either. It's like that's not the type of attention you would want. You don't want to bring people to watch the W and it's because it's a drama. It's just like that's not what that's like. Those I'm pretty sure none of those women trained all their life to be professional basketball players for people to watch them for drama.
I, I agree with you there. I also think it's pretty disingenuous for them to make it seem like that she's the reason why the league's getting all this attention when that's just not true. Just like
Right.
what I'm seeing, and I'm not trying to make this like political or anything like that, because it's definitely going down that route, and there's a lot of grifting around the talk around here, where like it's like it seems like a lot of like the sports bets guys and like the Caitlin Clark audience, some of the right hand media are starting to believe that it's like there's something to do with her being white, and that's the reason why. And I just don't think that's the case. I definitely feel like the way some of the players have talked about it. Like I personally, I'm a Sky fan. I like Angel Reese. I just don't think they need to talk about. I don't like that she talks about Caitlin Clark, even if it's coded. I don't like that. Like, do your own thing. Like, they're 3-9 right now. The Sky have a chance to actually be legitimately good and go deep into the playoffs this year. Let's talk about it. Like, I don't like that the narrative has been pushed that she should have all the TV coverage. She should have all this, that, and the other handed to her. She doesn't even want that. She's a hooper. Like, from everything I've heard her say, she just wants to kind of just be treated like everyone else. And like she understands she has to earn things the same way. Like the Olympic snub, it wasn't even a snub. She's not one of the 12 best players in the W. She's not even one of the 15 best players. There are other players who were snubbed over her. Like, if you could say, okay, well, who's the girl on the Lynx right now that's putting up like 25 a game or something like that? Like, she's incredible, and like it sucks that she didn't make the team because she has a chance, like, because she's a league leading scorer and she's an absolute bucket. I think there's like there's the opportunity to like if there's, because people are saying, oh, they need to put her in the Olympics in order to forward the game, the game of women's basketball. I don't think that's true. I just genuinely don't think that's true. Like, if you're only watching to watch this one player, when she gets on that team and doesn't get to play as much as people want her to play, it's just going to cause another media circus. Like, I sat up and argued with someone until like 1 a.m. on Twitter who thought, no, they have to give it to her because she's the most popular player. They have to they have to put her in this position because she's the reason everybody's watching. That's completely disrespectful to the rest of the players in the league. I've been like, it's completely disrespectful. I think the W has been steady, like been trending upward in viewership over the last few years anyway. Like, it's nice that the league has a potential face. I'm not gonna make it seem like she is the face right now, because she's not. She has to earn it like anyone else has. She'll get her opportunity to be on the Olympic team. She'll get her opportunity to start winning championships, this, that, and the other. I've seen the coverage go down to as little as the WNBA messed up by not putting her on a good team. What? It was the dumbest thing I've ever
That's how
seen.
you know if somebody don't know how none of this work. It's like, bro,
Exactly.
that's how you get drafted, bro. Like, you're really good. You're probably going to the team that's
Into
not really good. Like,
Went to one of the worst teams, probably
they
historically.
need you.
How it
The
goes.
Bobcats won 6 games and got the they got the number 2 pick, and they were bad for 3 more years. It takes a long time for players to like come into their own. And like, I mean, the WNBA is a little different because they've had rookies who have won NBA before, but those are generational talents. And I'm not saying that she's not, and I'm not even saying she can't turn it around this season. It's just that she's not there yet. And and people need to understand that she's not there yet. They can't just go throwing this, because they didn't put Anthony Edwards on the Olympic team last time. Like, they put Anthony Davis on the team back in 2012, but he didn't even play.
But
He
that's
barely
ain't
got any
right. He
playing
was
time.
only on the team because of that rule. Because the rule of them
Exactly.
taking one like college guy or
Yeah.
one guy that
Yeah.
just got drafted.
Like, bro, they put Christian Laettner on the dream team over Shaq. Like, and Shaq was better than some people on the dream team. Like, it's not always fair, yo. It's not. Like, and even such.
Yo.
Let's look at it.
Yeah.
Let's go back. They didn't even put Candace Parker on the Olympic team when she came into the league, even though she won MVP that season and won a bunch of national titles, all through pettiness. And was there the media circus around it? No. Like it takes it, to me, it's disrespectful to Caitlin Clark to sit here and try to hand her all done anything to earn other than being popular. So I'm saying that it's completely disrespectful to start handing these things to Caitlin Clark when she hasn't done anything to earn them. I understand that she's popular. I understand she has a fun style, but she would not play on that Olympic team. She's not going to play. That's the thing. That's the harsh truth of the matter, is that even if they did decide to just give it to her, she would not play. She's not one of the 12 best players. She's not one of the 15 best players. And there were other players snubbed who deserves it over her still. She might not even be the best rookie in his class right now. And that's just, and no one knows about that because no one knows about it. No one pays attention. Like, let's look. If we look at the Olympics roster, top to bottom, who are you taking off to put Caitlin Clark on? Straight up. Who would you take off?
Hey, not Kelsey and not Sabrina. I'll tell you that much right now.
Yeah, you're not taking off Stewart. You're not taking off Jewel Lloyd. You're not taking off Griner. You're not taking off Tarasi. You're not taking any of those people off to put her on. So who are you taking off? And how do you explain to them that we got to give it to the that doesn't deserve it? That's disrespectful to them.
Especially, I think a lot of them have won before, right? On the Olympic level.
Bro, Breonna Stewart got on the Olympic roster as a rookie, and the only reason that was the case is because she won 4 straight national titles. That's a little different.
Yeah, that's very different. That ain't a little different. That's very different.
Hey, let's be for real here. Like, let's
take Stewart.
Yeah,
seriously. Shout out to all of these players on this team are some of the most accomplished basketball players in the world, and we don't know about it because the W doesn't get the coverage that it should, obviously. But like, I don't think even putting like, what do you want to put her as a bench warmer? She also just played in a national title game, and she's halfway through her season. Give Shorty a break. Give her a breather.
Vacay.
Yeah.
But we are not denying that Caitlin Clark got motion. That's what we'll call it. She's not saying she's not the face.
Oh, she's nice.
Caitlin Clark 100% has motion right now.
Yeah.
Because of her style of play.
She's figuring it out. She's getting better. You can if you watch her play, like, she's getting better each game. Like, she's figuring it out. Like, she's starting to see where they get physical with her to stop her from getting to her spots, how they're looking to take away her shot, and she's figuring out how to still get it. Like, she's doing exactly what she should be doing.
Exactly. She's a rookie guard. How many rookie guards are that good? Like, no matter
in
who
general,
it is.
Yeah, in the W or in the NBA, it don't happen.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I agree. I do think that there is some merit to having Caitlin Clark in some spotlight. Maybe, like, say you don't put her on the team, right? Maybe you just fly her out there and have her with the team, just around, just so for the popularity standpoint. Sometimes I think that we get caught up, right, in trying to make sure that we're not taking too much advantage of a situation. You know what I mean? Instead of just being like, look, hey, it's undeniable fact that, like, Caitlin Clark has people watching the WNBA who would not be watching it for whatever reason. That's not that like that's just a fact. Like, for whatever reason, um, having her around in the spotlight will only help. Whether, Kanye has said it best, and he figured it out. All promo is good promo, whether that's good or bad. And that's a lot of the things that are surrounding Caitlin Clark. So that's some of the things that people don't understand. For all you Caitlin Clark haters out there, if you don't like her, don't say anything about her and stop watching. There you go. That's your answer. If you don't like what she stands for or whatever people are trying to make her stand for, stop watching. It's that simple.
It just bugs me when the conversation becomes stuff outside of basketball. Like, I just don't respect any of that stuff. I genuinely don't. I don't care. Like, they also, I mean, she does get like whenever things happen to her, like the foul from Chandler, they didn't show the last 4 minutes before that where they were both tying up like every possession. Nobody were like, Caitlin Clark talks a lot. She talks a lot of shit. That's one of her things. She's a competitor. You have to be a little crazy to be as good as she is. So she talks a lot. So it's a given. She's an irritant. That's how that because she's has such an aesthetically pleasing game, you don't see it. You don't pay attention to it. You just see the threes and you see the dots, and that's it.
Same thing as Steph. Steph talk a
Same thing
lot
with
of
Steph.
shit too. Same.
Exactly.
What about? I guess like let's move on from Caitlin Clark. Shout out to Caitlin Clark. I hope you do your thing. Like get better. You know, keep being the face, or if, like you don't want to be the face, whatever. Like the reality is, you got the motion. But Angel Reese, what like does she have an impact on the WNBA popularity? Like are there other players who help with the W, help move the W forward? Outside of Caitlin Clark, of course, she got the motion right now, but of course, obviously, there's other players who do that. Let's talk about them a little bit.
Angel for
Go ahead.
sure. She helped. Well, she's part of bringing Nike's basketball shoe collection back. I mean, not Nike, Reebok. She's part of bringing Reebok's basketball shoe collection back. Like, she's one of their like headline athletes. So it's like she definitely is, and even with like to her credit, with her with the Sky, she didn't get to start off rip and have starter minutes. It's like she's had to earn her playing time and earn her like right to be on the court. Even though she is as good of a player as she is, there were some better players on that team already. So it's like I think she helps with the popularity because there are people who just like people watch Caitlyn because of who Caitlyn is. There are people that are watching Chicago Sky games because of who Angel Reese is to them. It's like because I mean, to the grand scheme of things, what both of those women did in college is a big part of what was starting with the W popularity growing.
Yeah. I think Angel Reese is doing a lot for uh beautiful women and also being like dominant hoopers. Like, I mean, you see Cameron Brinks, you see Angel Reese, there's some other like players that are a little older who've been doing it a little bit longer, but this new gen of female basketball players, they're both like I think it kind of started with Liz Cambage and her wanting to be more than a player and more and like be more into the arts and more into the fashion and music and things like that rather than just a hooper. I think that is going to ring true for a lot of these new athletes. A lot of the new players that are coming out are also they're showing more of their personality because they have that extra exposure. They're not. I mean, I think we're very close to seeing a day where WNBA players aren't going to need to work for other teams in the off season, like where we can probably get the WNBA season extended a little bit more into the fall, whereas it's not just a 22 game schedule and things like that. I think we're very close to that happening with these new the new sponsorship deals that people are getting. I mean, Sabrina Ionescu has her own shoe, which is like a good shoe.
That
It's a
shoe
great,
is
That's nice.
fire.
it's a great
Nice.
That
shoe.
shoe is
Like,
Nice.
fire.
I mean, what I will say is when I said that, like Aja Wilson hasn't gotten like that same type of exposure and stuff like that, and she's like the best player in the league right now. And I understand where they're coming from with that. I just don't. I'm not under the mentality of taking something away from somebody else to give to somebody else just to make things right. I think that again, that's a little bit disrespectful to the person who didn't get it, who were just like, all right, yeah, have it. You're right. You should have it. I just think under those contexts, it's not the same.
Yeah. Just look. Some people got the motion. Like I don't know what
Yeah,
else to
some
say.
people got it. Some
Some
people
people just
got it.
got the motion. It's okay.
Paige Buckner still on the way.
Yeah.
That's what they better not forget
That
about.
Yeah.
exactly. We
Hey,
got
Just
Kobe
wait
hey,
till
coming into
you
the league.
forget she got, bro. She got the bag, bro.
yeah. And
She
wait
do
till the Juju
everything.
like get
Yep.
Yeah,
like
that's what like.
Yeah, and we got 3 more years till she come out. We got next year. We got Paige Buckers coming out. It's the WNBA game is like on the up and up. I think Zebo's daughter's going like she's starting college now too, and she's really good. Like
Shaq
we're
Carter on the way.
yeah.
yeah, like we're in unprecedented times when it comes to women's basketball, where just players are getting better, better, and better. And I for one am very excited about it. I'm very curious to see what the game is going to look like in 2028 after some of these new stars come in and like there's like a little bit more. I think Paige Bucker is going to get the same type of attention that Caitlin Clark is getting. I think that she's just as good of a player, straight up right now, as she is, and I am very excited to see her play the pro game. I think she's going to come in and be very good. But we have so much talent coming in. It's like it's hard not to be excited for it if you're willing to do a little bit of research. I mean, the problem is that people when they watch the WNBA game or just the women's basketball game, they're expecting these like highlight flashy plays that you may get in the men's game, but that stuff there's not going to be any dunks. There's not going to be
I
like
mean, it
it's
happens.
just
It
not
just
going to
looks
be there.
different.
Exactly. It still looks cool.
It happens. Yeah, people still. Hey, like, you still get cooked.
Exactly. Like
You can
some of
get
the
cooked
hand-
without getting dunked on.
exactly.
Yo,
Like
getting cooked without getting dunked on might actually be
It's
worse.
worse. It is
It might actually be worse.
because you getting picked apart. Like,
yeah, it's like they're not beating you out of based on athleticism, but it's based on skill. And that part is that's the most important part of any of this stuff is that these women are incredibly skilled and are just doing more and more to drive the game forward. And I just think we have to let things like develop instead of trying to force things on the people who aren't ready for it. Not to
Yeah.
chime back to Clayton Clark.
Hey, like I said, that's the key word, motion. But yeah, that's it. That's all we got. Hey, Nike, do the right thing. I'm telling you,
man,
Nike, do the right thing. That's gonna be the
I
last time.
like
Reebok,
that hat.
that's gonna be the last time. I'm telling y'all. We not gonna. I'm telling you, do the right thing. But yeah, that's gonna call it, man. We'll see y'all for Wham Club episode 3. We will see y'all. Hopefully, we still got more basketball. If not, trust me,
People
we
gonna
got a
have some
lot to
shots
talk
lined
about.
up for sure.
They say
Yes.
you finna have
Gonna be
6
some
shots
shots
lined up.
up.
Are we gonna start? Are you gonna see? You're gonna tune in and you're gonna see him slumped over his chair, drunk because he lost a bet.
Never. No way. But yeah, man, we out. Appreciate y'all. We gonna see y'all on the next one. We'll see y'all when we see y'all. Hey, we be seeing y'all. We've been doing well on the YouTube with the first video. Y'all better like, comment, subscribe. Tell your mama, tell your brother, tell your cousin, tell your uncle. Everybody, tell them to like, comment, subscribe. And when they do it, tell them to share the videos so that they can they know can like, comment, subscribe, because that's how it works. Y'all want to keep seeing us, y'all got to keep making sure that we get in the scene. That's all I got, man. We out of here. Peace
Appreciate all
out.
the love.
We see y'all next week. We see y'all.